Welcome to Waverley Basketball Stadium. My name is Liam Ellison. I'm joining you today for this NBL1 doubleheader between the Waverley Falcons and the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence. Some young stars of the game out here on show today. Both teams played last night, so it will be their second game within 24 hours. From the Waverley perspective, they travelled to Ringwood last night and fell 78 to 66. They dropped to a 1-6 record, currently sitting in 15th place. Carly Ernst had another big game of 20 points. Meanwhile, the COE played at Knox and again fell as well. They're yet to pick up a win this season. They were valiant though, 85 to 71 with only a small playing roster travelling here. You can see Gemma Potter, Lily Scanlon and Kobe King-Hawaii all not in uniform today, so only 7 players suited up for them. Jade Melbourne had a big game. Double-double, 19 points and 10 rebounds in that one. So a couple of teams needing a win here. The Falcons will start with Ernst, Cunningham, Donald, Bowen, and looks like Renee Mazitsky as well. So it's the starting 5 for the Falcons. COE still talking things over. We're just about set to get underway here. Chance for the COE to get their first win in this NBL1 competition. Meanwhile, Waverley lost 4 games by a total margin of 12 points at one point. Perhaps been a touch unlucky. Chance here to get back on the right track for them. So we're set for tip. Ernst and Kelsey Rees to take the tip. And the COE corral there. So here's Jade Melbourne. Big game last night for her against Knox. Agnes Noppo in the corner. Rose Smith driving hard left. She's fouled by Bowen. She'll go to the line for 2. The foul is on Kelly Bowen. Her first personal. One of the leaders for this Waverley team, Kelly Bowen. 15 points and 10 rebounds last night in the 12-point loss to Ringwood. Can't convert on the first one, Rose Smith.
Sarah Rose Smith, 2 points.
So here's Bowen the other way. The COE getting an early lead here. Ernst at the top. Fuller defending her. Ernst driving on Fuller. She's drawn the foul here. Carly Ernst to find her way to the free-throw line. Leading scorer so far this season for Waverley is Carly Ernst, as she goes 2 of 2 from the free-throw line, taking care of business at the charity stripe. Waverley pressing up a bit here. Donald getting right up in the grill of Agnes Nopu. Here's Smith again. Melbourne coming around the Fuller screen. Melbourne driving in, but it's been tipped out. So Waverley's away here. Mazitsky can throw it ahead to Donald. Getting back as Kelsey Rees passes forward to Cunningham. She pulls up from the block. No good, but Donald will come up with it for Waverley. Bit of a missed opportunity. Here's Bowen, though. No good on that attempt as well. So the COE corral the rebound. Here goes Agnes Nopu. Just a bit of a missed opportunity there from Waverley as Rees mishandles it. But Melbourne again comes up with it for the COE. There's a bit of chaos going on at the moment. Neither team can hold on to the ball. It will be a jump ball call. Possession arrow with the Falcons. Melbourne defending Donald. Here's Renee Mazitsky. Cunningham coming off a screen. She'll go to Ernst at the top. Ree's doing a good job to deny her. Bowen finds it down low. She makes her move and she'll draw a foul. So another trip to the line for the Waverley Falcons. Doing well to set up Bowen there. The foul will go on Agnes Emanopu as Bowen converts on the first. So it is pink round, of course, the Mother's Day round today, and raising awareness for breast cancer. We've got the coaches wearing the pink shirts, players wearing the pink socks. Melbourne over to Smith. She thinks about it. Back to Agnes Nopu. And Fuller will pull up from the free-throw line, banks it in. 11 points and 5 rebounds last night against Knox, of course. Both teams playing their second game within 24 hours. Donald in the corner. There's a foul call on the floor. It's going to be off ball. So it goes against Cunningham. She looks a little bemused, so it'll be a COE ball. Here's Melbourne. Cunningham pushing up on Melbourne. Trying to pressure the youngster. She drives hard, Melbourne. It'll stay with the COE. Just mishandled. Into Fuller. Hands it off to Agnes Nopu. Back to Smith. Bowen on her. Drives hard, chucks it up, no good on that attempt. Samantha Donald comes up with the rebound for Waverley. She's pushing the pace. Ahead to Ernst, lovely pass to Mazitsky. Well run, fast break by the Falcons. Samantha Donald did well to push the pace there. Sensed that they had the advantage, and Rees passes it out to Fuller. Probably could have gone for that herself, Kelsey Rees. But it'll stay with the COE. Here's Melbourne. Big game last night, driving hard to the rim, blocked by Cunningham. It'll stay with the COE. Couple of substitutions here. Millie Pryor checking in, as does Paige Price. Fuller and Agnes Nopu. Emma Nopu, sorry. Melbourne pulls up. Little short on that attempt though. Mazitsky corrals the rebound for Waverley. Cunningham's ahead, so is Bowen. Pass it ahead to Cunningham and can't get the layup to go. Disappointing miss there for Cunningham. Here's Paige Price. Pryor at the top, just checked in moments earlier. So Smith now. Just pulls up. Ernst was right there. A little wayward though, so Cunningham comes up with the board for Waverley. Donald aggressive once again. Lovely pass to Mazitsky. Finds it for the wide open layup in transition. Samantha Donald once again pushing the pace. And the Falcons have an early 8-4 lead here. Here's Smith. Let it fly on the last play. Melbourne at the top. Inside to Pride. Did well to seal this much smaller Samantha Donald, but it's going to fly out of bounds. Waverley ball. Timeout COE. So 4 minutes into this one, it's 8-4 on the scoreboard. Bowen with a bucket. So is Ernst and Mazitsky. Samantha Donald as well has done well, pushing the pace here early. Both teams needing a win. The COE missing quite a few players today. Ashley Hannon, Kobe King-Hawea, who's over there on the bench along with Lily Scanlon and Gemma Potter. Neither are in uniform today. Isabel Palmer as well and Olivia Pollard. All missing from this COE lineup. Only playing a small rotation today on a back-to-back, so could be fatigue could be a factor, definitely, for the COE. Meanwhile, the Falcons also on a back-to-back. So the Falcons opting to stay with their starting five here. Donald now to start things off for the Falcons. Melbourne defending her. Ernst thinking about the screen. There it is. What can Donald do here? Good defense from the COE. Mazitsky's posting up on Pryor. She makes her move to the bucket, and that's good. Fancy footwork from Renee Mazitsky. Certainly a strong part of her game. Rees at the top, little stagnant here, but inside to Paige Price, just a little off, so she resets to the corner and will fire. Cunningham will come up with it for the Falcons. They could be away here, but she opts to hold it up. Gives it to her point guard, and Donald. Ernst with the screen. Melbourne goes under and stays on her. Cunningham in the corner. Mazitsky, geez, Cunningham will pull up. No good on that attempt, though, and it's come off Price's foot. Unfortunate there. Just mishandled the rebound. So Emma Nopu and Adelaide Fuller will come back in. Rees checking out for the first time, and so does Smith. Just alternating those bigs of the COE. Donald passes in. Baseline to Bowen. She corrals it. Comes up with it. Does Kelly Bowen and banks it in for two. 8-point lead to the Falcons here. Starting to create a nice little buffer early on. Here's Price. She'll pull up from mid-range. A little short on that one. Bowen comes up with it. Here's Donald. What will she do here, Samantha Donald? Opts to give it to her captain. Here's Donald, and she'll fire. No, she won't. Got Fuller with that. Melbourne's come up with a steal here. Pushing the pace. Got Bowen next to her. Bowen reaches in. It's going to be Waverley ball. So Bowen has just got her hand in there and probably seen the ball come off Jade Melbourne's knee. Good defensive play from the Waverley veteran. Donald again here. Over to Ernst. Emma Nopu right up in her grill. Bowen to Donald. Cunningham in the corner. Ernst is posting up on the younger Fuller. She fades away. Nice move from Carly Ernst. All class on that occasion. The COE need a bucket. Haven't scored for a few minutes now. It's out to a 10-point margin. Price did a good job, but there is a call and will be on Samantha Donald. No score. So it'll be sideline ball, COE. Emma Nopu to inbound. Hands it into Fuller. She hands it off to Melbourne. Thought about shooting it. Just resets back down to Fuller. She's got the smaller Donald on her. Cunningham comes to double. Melbourne will fire from the corner. That one's an air ball, but Emma Nopu comes up with the board, and Donald straight ahead. That's an ill-advised pass, though. Turns it over to Pryor. Here's Melbourne. 2-on-2 situation. Got Donald on her. Aggressive from Melbourne. Good pass into Fuller and blocked by Kelly Bowen. Good defensive stop there from the Waverley captain. Jade Melbourne checks out, and for Waverley, Jessica Bygate, Lisa Ewan, and Locke check in. Bowen checking out, Mazitsky and Samantha Donald. So a lot of substitutions taking place here with 3.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Emma Nopu back out to Smith. Here's Price. Smith gives it down to Price. She's got Ernst on her, opts it out back to Price. Just mishandled it there, and she has turned it over. Just lost the handle, did Paige Price. Here's Cunningham. Fuller on her, drives baseline, back out to Ernst. Bygate gives her the screen. Over to Ewan. Pryor defending her into Bygate at the 3-throw line. Lovely defense there from Emma Nopu, but it'll stay with Locke. What's the call on the floor here? It's going to be COE ball, so Locke turns it over. Good defensive play there from the COE, especially Agnes Emonopu to come up with the block on that occasion. Lily Pry now at the top. Into Emonopu, back out to Fuller. She's open at the top and she makes them pay. Agnes Emonopu in the thick of it right now. Couple of points and a couple of rebounds early for her, as well as one assist. Ernst into Cunningham. Lily Pryor and her. She'll fire Cunningham and makes it. No hesitation on that occasion. So here's Price. She'll fire. Ernst gave her a bit of space there and made her pay. So a couple of buckets in a row now for the COE. It's back to a 6-point margin with 2 minutes remaining in this first period. Struggled to find the bottom of the basket a few minutes ago, the COE, but they're back as Ernst lets it fly. A little short on that occasion. Bygate nearly comes up with it, but Paige Price corrals the rebound ahead to Fuller, and Fuller will miss the lay-in. Missed opportunity there for the COE. And Ernst will turn it over, so a couple of errors from both teams here. Try to pass it ahead to Cunningham as Van der Zak will check in for the first time, as will Brianna Bishop. Cunningham and Ernst, two of the Waverley stars, heading to the bench. Here's Price. Oh, geez, bit of a breakdown there from Waverley, and Paige Price takes advantage. Locke just got lost there on that occasion. So it's a 6-0 run for the COE. Back to a 4-point game. Brianna Bishop now at the top. Lily Pryor defending here. Here's Locke driving hard. Tried to give it to Van der Zak. COE got a hand in, so it'll stay with the Falcons. Here's Lisa Ewan to inbound. Waverley playing their bench unit at the moment as Van der Zak straight away. I think Fuller might have got a fingertip on that one, and nearly turns it over to the COE. Van der Zak pressing up. It'll stay with the COE. Here's Paige Price into Adelaide Fuller. Hands it off to Emma Nopu. Lovely pass there. Here's Bygate. Wayward pass, trying to find Brianna Bishop. No good. So a few turnovers here for both sides early on. The COE are up to 6 already. And the Falcons with 5. So both teams struggling to look after the ball. Van der Zak getting down low to defend Paige Price. Here's Millie Pryor. Again into Agnes Emonopu. Had the small Lisa Ewan on her, but couldn't take advantage on that occasion. Price inbounding. Hands it off, just full of lovely play from the COE, and Paige Price and one. Well run inbound play by Kristen Veal. And the COE coaching staff just hands it off to Paige Price on that occasion. She found her way to the hoop. Chance to make it one more. Rocking the pink shoes as well as the pink socks is Paige Price as she makes the free throw. And the COE have taken the lead here with 26 seconds remaining in the first period, 17-16. Waverley struggling to find a bucket all of a sudden. They've gone to their bench unit, and again, Ewan turns it over. He's under very little pressure as well. One last bucket possibly for the COE here. It's a foul on Van der Zak. Plenty of fouls to give as well.
Foul call on number 3 for the Falcons, Jackie Van der Zak.
And I'm completely off there. It's actually in the bonus, so I was looking at the timeout column. Paige Price here to take 2 free throws. No good on that attempt. 88% free throw shooter on the year is Paige Price. This is the second one drops. COE with a 2-point lead. Paige Price will check out. Quite influential in the last few minutes. Jade Melbourne checking back in for this final 7 seconds. Here's Brianna Bishop. What can they do here? Emma Nopu is putting the pressure on. Bishop to Van der Zag. She's got a fire. Might have been a bit late. No, it's counted. So Van der Zag with the final 2. 18 apiece here at the end of 1. The COE went on a bit of a run there at the end of the first period. Leading scorers, Kelly Bowen with 4 points, Carly Ernst with 4 as well, and Renee Mazitsky with 6 points. She's been active early. Paige Price was really good coming off the bench. 8 points and 3 rebounds for her. Agnes Emanopu, 4 points, 2 rebounds and 2 assists, and Adelaide Fuller as well with 4 points of her own. 10-0 run for the COE to bring it back to a tie game here. It looked like Waverley were threatening to get out to an early dominant lead, but it didn't happen that way. Of course, first game of the doubleheader today here at Waverley Basketball Stadium. The men coming up next with a 4-3 record in 6th place are the Waverley Falcons. Meanwhile, the COE men with a 4-4 record. Going to be a cracker, that one. It is tough for the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence, given that they've only got, I believe, 2 homestands this season. So they spend a lot of their NBL1 season on the road. And it's often in the form of a doubleheader. They don't play every weekend. They've got national camps and other commitments, being some of the young stars in our sport. So it is a grueling season for them. They're doing well here so far. 10-0 run to bring it back to a tied game as we just about get set to get underway here in the second. Ernst checking back in for the Falcons, as does Kelly Bowen. They'll stay with Bishop, Bygate and Van der Zag.
It'll be a Centre of Excellence ball to start off in the second quarter.
Adelaide Fuller to inbound. Bishop denying Jade Melbourne. Here she is. Just under 6 points per game on the season, Jade Melbourne, but had a massive game last night. Double-double, 19 points and 10 rebounds. Pryor back to Melbourne. Fuller posting up on Bygate. Pryor gives her the screen. Van der Zag going over. Putting a lot of pressure on Jade Melbourne. And she's fallen to the floor here. It'll be a jump ball call. And that is Waverley ball. The possession arrow pointing the way of the home team. Bishop fronting the offense for the Falcons. Here's Ernst on the wing. Over to Bishop in the corner. Nearly stepped out of bounds there and straight away into Van der Zag. Bygate's open from the mid-range. No good on that attempt. Van der Zag comes up with it, blocked by Emma Nopu, but again Van der Zag. So a couple of opportunities here now for the Falcons. Ernst with it. What can she do here? She drives left. No good. Pryor corrals for the COE. So Waverley with a few missed opportunities on that occasion. Here's Smith at top. Fuller with the screen. Mishandles to Smith. She's got to pick up her dribble into Fuller, who's got the smaller Bishop on her. Turns and spins and one. Lovely move, Adelaide Fuller. Found herself with a mismatch on Bree Bishop and took advantage. Chance to give the COE a 3-point lead. And since the opening 4 to 5 minutes, it's been all Centre of Excellence. Fuller converts on the N1 opportunity. Here's Bowen. A couple of their stars could use a bucket for the Falcons as Bishop pulls up. It's a long 2. It's no good on that occasion. Not sure if that's what the Waverley Falcons coaching staff will be looking for as Van der Zag comes up with the steal. She's off to the races. A few COE defenders trailing, and she gets it to go. Van der Zag her intensity rewarded there on that occasion. Coming up with the steal, driving baseline is Emma Nopu into Millie Pryor. Did well to create that opportunity for Pryor. Very impressed by the play of Agnes Emanopu early on here. Just making things happen for the COE. Cunningham and Donald getting set to check in for Waverley now. Here's Bygate. Hands it off to Bowen. Gets around Smith and she puts up the floater, Kelly Bowen, and it's good. A casual 2 points for Kelly Bowen. A nice move. Here's Smith. Runs into the brick wall of a couple of defenders and Fuller will pull up. That one nearly banked in. Smith comes up with the board though, tries to give it to Fuller, tips out to Pryor and she's blocked by Van der Zag. Bygate with the screen on Bowen. She drives baseline, blocked by Smith. It'll stay with Waverley. So a pair of substitutions here for both teams. Paige Price and Kelsey Rees checking back in. Smith and Millie Pryor coming out for the COE. Close game here with 7.5 remaining in the second period. Into Cunningham. Geez, the COE let that one slip. Nice inbound play from the Falcons. Here's Paige Price. She's going to pull up. Had a bit of space. That one's a little off though. Donald comes up with a rebound. She's pushing the pace once again. Over to Bygate. She'll pull up and shoot the mid-range. That one drops. For Jess Bygate, find herself in a bit of space there. Jade Melbourne. The Falcons have retaken the lead here. They lead by 3. Couple of empty trips to the COE. Fuller into Rees. Bowen doing a good job to deny her, and she turns it over to Kelsey Rees. Here's Donald. Ahead to Bygate. She'll have to slow it up. Melbourne corralling her. Donald over to Ernst. Thought about shooting it. Emma Nopu got a hand in. Here's Bowen. Into Bygate, but it's off. She had the mismatch on Melbourne. Could have been an easy bucket had the pass been on point. Bygate will check out and Jacqueline Van der Zag checks back in. Kelly Bowen and Renee Mazitsky leading the way with 6 points apiece, while Paige Price still the game's leading scorer with 8 and Adelaide Fuller with 7. Price over to Rees. Melbourne's found herself in a bit of space, puts up the floater and it drops for Jade Melbourne. First bucket of the game for Jade Melbourne. Cunningham on the wing. Paige Price on her. Here's Jacqueline Van der Zag over to Donald. Ernst has got an opportunity here on Jade Melbourne. No one comes to help and Carly Ernst takes advantage. Tough ask there for Jade Melbourne to defend the length and class of Carly Ernst. Jade Melbourne into Kelsey Rees. Nice pass to Fuller, and she gets it to go. Well done, Kelsey Rees, to create that opportunity. Adelaide Fuller up to 9 points in the game, the COE captain. 7.3 points per game, and just under 5 rebounds as well for Fuller. Donald on the wing. Here's Bowen, she'll pull up, and that one's a little short. Cunningham, though, comes up with it, but Emma Nopu gets the board, and she's pushing the pace here. A couple of Waverley defenders will force her to hold it up. Back out to Paige Price. Emma Nopu nearly turns it over to Donald, who just mishandles it on that occasion. COE ball. 1 point game here halfway through the second. Straight back to Emma Nopu. She'll fire from the corner. That one a little to the right though. Cunningham right up in the logo. Melbourne defending here. Here's Bowen. Donald coming round to screen baseline. Here's Ernst. Rees trying to deny her. Ernst forced into a tough shot, but it doesn't matter. The hook shot drops for Carly Ernst. Timeout on the floor. The Waverley bench impressed with that effort from Ernst, and it's a 3-point lead to the Falcons, 30-27 here, with 4:46 remaining in the second period. It's been a bit of a back and forth affair in this second period. Fuller leading all scorers with 9. Paige Price still with 8 points off the bench. Waverley have looked certainly a lot better when they've had their probably best 2 to 3 to 4 players in the game, and obviously Ernst, Cunningham, Bowen. They've really steadied the ship with that unit. So if the bench unit can step up, that'll certainly help the Falcons' cause. The COE have been impressive early. Agnes Eminopu in the thick of it, 4 points and 3 assists as well. Had a couple of nice baseline drives and dishes. Meanwhile, the COE are rotating their 4 bigs. Only 7 players active today for the COE, so tough ask for them, especially for the guards, who there's not a lot of relief there. Jade Melbourne, the starting point guard today. Here is Jade Melbourne. Paige Price up the top. Fuller gives the screen on Donald. Doesn't come to fruition though. Good defense here from Waverley. Shot clock starting to wind down. Here's Paige Price. She pushes the tempo and it's hit Kelsey Rees in the head, but she comes up with it anyway. Paige Price will fire. Just a little strong on that occasion. Kelsey Rees though comes up with a board. Donald flying in. It's a foul call on Kelly Bowen there. Kelsey Rees doing a great job there, fighting for a couple of loose balls on that possession. Price inbounds to Jade Melbourne. She fires that one a little off. Kelsey Rees again in the thick of it. But Waverley corral. Here comes Carly Ernst. Pushes it ahead to Tegan Cunningham. Over to Bowen, who'll fire. That one a little short. So Waverley struggling a bit from the three-point line in this one. Adelaide Fuller takes advantage. Just got a bit lost there, did the Waverley defense. Ahead to Bowen. She's pushing the pace, drives left, and she'll go to the line for 2, drawing the foul on Adelaide Fuller. And both teams go to discuss things here. So once again, the COE making their substitutions in pairs as Eminopu and Adelaide Fuller check out. Millie Pryor coming into the game, as does Sarah Rose Smith, as Bowen gets the first one to go. Two of 2 for Kelly Bowen. Up to 8 points in the game now. Here's the Waverley captain. Here's Price. Rees the screen on Donald. Melbourne can shoot this. She's wide open and makes him pay. Jade Melbourne, first three-pointer of the game for her. So it's all tied up here, 32 apiece, with 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Ernst down low. Pryor on her, fading away is Ernst. That one's a little off though. Cunningham flying in for the offensive rebound. Hands it back to Donald. Ernst will fire from the top. That one drops for Carly Ernst. Three-pointer Waverley Falcons. They needed that. 35-32. First three-pointer of the game for the Waverley Falcons. Here's Price driving hard. Nearly muscles it in, but Bowen comes up with it for Waverley. Donald again pushing the pace for the Falcons. Over to Ernst. She's found herself in a bit of space. Back-to-back 3. No, she's fouled. 3 shots coming up for Carly Ernst. Bit of an ill-advised foul there from the COE. The late contest. So Kelly Bowen will check out, and in for the first time today is Duncan for the Falcons. Carly Ernst good on the first one. So she's up to 13 points in the game now, Carly Ernst, and you feel she will be one of the points of difference in this game. Trouble the younger COE opponents. Here's Paige Price driving baseline. Nice move, but the layup was a little bit off. Ernst over to Duncan. She'll pull up from the mid-range. That one drops, and one for Samantha Duncan. In motion, she was fouled. Chance to go to the line for one more.
Number 7, Sarah Rose Smith. That's her first personal foul, the team foul on the Centre of Excellence.
All of a sudden, the Falcons are out to an 8-point lead here with 2 minutes remaining in the second period. 8-0 run for Waverley. Duncan no good on that free throw attempt. Renee Maziski checking back in, contesting that rebound, but it will stay with a COE. Paige Price at the top. Smith cutting baseline. Millie Pryor with the screen. Here's Melbourne. Not a lot of options here for the COE. Shot clock starting to wind down. Here's Melbourne. Over to Kelsey Rees. She fires. That one a little strong, but comes up. No, she doesn't. Tapped out by her own teammate, I believe. Donald now for the Falcons. Rees doing a good job at the second effort. Maziski was just worried out of it there by Melbourne. And it's come off the foot of Samantha Donald. Stays with Millie Pryor, though. Just settling things down now is Jade Melbourne for the COE. Here's Paige Price. Sarah Rose Smith in the corner. Rees with Ernst defending her. Cunningham reaches in there. Rees is going to be called for 3 seconds in the key. Run out of time and space there to Kelsey Rees. So with 1:17 remaining here in the first half, it's out to an 8-point margin. Chance for the Falcons to make it a double-digit margin heading into the halftime break. It's been pretty back and forth throughout this contest, but an 8-0 run over the last couple of minutes has given the advantage to the Falcons as Carly Ernst pulls up and in motion makes them pay. Carly Ernst is on fire at the moment. She's up to 17 points in the game. Carly Ernst, the difference maker at this point in the contest. Looking dangerous. Here's Paige Price. Comes around the read screen, chucks up the floater to Price. That one, though, just comes off the back of the iron. Here's Michaela Miller checking in for the first time. Over to Duncan, who again pulls up in transition. Michaela Miller coming up with it, blocked by Kelsey Rees, though. Jade Melbourne pushing the pace now. She's got Donald ahead of her. Steps through and one. Jade Melbourne, lovely move from the youngster. Step through on Samantha Donald and chance for one more. She is starting to have an influence in this game as Jade Melbourne. Had a fairly slow start, but she's hitting her straps now. Up to 5 points in the game. Donald checking out. Kelly Bowen in for the Falcons. Agnes Emanopu in for the COE as well. Melbourne gets it to go. And there's 28 seconds remaining in this first half. It's an 8-point margin. Miller now just letting the clock wind down. Melbourne right up on her. Maziski offering the screen, but she's been fouled by Melbourne. So with 9.7 seconds remaining on the clock, the Falcons will have another shot at it. First personal there for Jade Melbourne. It was a well-timed foul as well, with a few fouls to give. Timeout on the floor. Chance for the Waverley coaching staff to draw up a play here with 1 possession remaining here. So Carly Ernst, in the second period, has come alive. She's up to 17 points already. Hit a couple of three-pointers. A few fadeaway moves from the post as well. She is on fire here at Waverley Basketball Stadium. Adelaide Fuller with 11 for the COE. Jade Melbourne with 8 now. 8 points, 3 rebounds. Does have 4 turnovers to her name. but she started to have an influence on this contest over the last 5 minutes. The COE are 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. Struggled from that range. Waverley have seen similar struggles, but a couple of threes in a row from Ernst has made their 3-point percentage a bit more respectable. Duncan to inbound now for Waverley. What can they do here with 9.7 seconds on the clock? Going to give it to Ernst here. Pass it inside to Mazitsky. She makes her move, but blocked by Smith. Emma Nopu comes up with it. There's 3 seconds left on the clock. Ahead to Melbourne just in time. No, it's a little off, so no good. That will not count. It's going to be 43-35 at the end of the first half. Waverley Falcons lead here. Interesting first half of basketball here. Both teams needing a win. Got a 10-minute halftime break coming up. We'll be taking a break here now for halftime. See you back in about 5 minutes for the second half of the Waverley Falcons and the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence. It's an 8-point margin here. And we're back here at Waverley Basketball Stadium for the second half of the Waverley Falcons and the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence. It's an 8-point margin here. The Falcons with the lead. Carly Ernst has been influential in the first half. 17 points to her name. She's the game's leading scorer. Meanwhile, from the COE perspective, Adelaide Fuller with 11 points. And Paige Price and Jade Melbourne with 8 apiece as well. Waverley shooting 46% from the field. The COE 39%. Nine turnovers to Waverley, 11 to the COE. Both teams struggling a little bit to look after the ball, especially in the first period. It was a bit chaotic early on, but since then both teams have cleaned it up a little bit, and certainly the shooting of Carly Ernst has helped the Falcons get out to this 8-point buffer. It'll be COE ball to start the second half. Fuller to inbound for the Centre of Excellence. The Falcons opting with their starting lineup here to start the second half. Here's Melbourne straight away. Oh, geez. Looked like she did the splits on that play. Could have been potentially an injury, but she's fine. Good news there. Cunningham now for Waverley. Donald. Agnes Emanopu, influential in the first half as well. Jade Melbourne hits the floor hard. It's going to be a foul on Tegan Cunningham. It's a foul on Jade Melbourne. So I've misread that one. Melbourne hit the floor hard, but it is a foul on the COE youngster. Couple of smiles out here on the floor as we get set to get back underway. Melbourne checking out of the game now. She looks a little bit sore. Had a couple of tough falls to the ground as Maziski's blocked by Smith and turns it over as she tries to keep it in. It'll be ahead now to Emanopu. What can she do here? Ernst defending her. Back out to Paige Price. Here's Smith. Fuller has plenty of space at the top of the key. That one can't bounce in, though, on that occasion. Cunningham coming up with it. It's actually off her foot, so it's a turnover to Waverley. The COE, another chance to open the second half with the first bucket. Here's Kelsey Rees on the wing. Driving in the lane. She draws the foul on the floater. Rees, a couple of opportunities coming up at the free-throw line. 71% from the charity stripe so far this season for Kelsey Rees. Had 11 points and 6 rebounds last night against the Knox Raiders. The first one drops for Rees. Of course, it is Pink Rounds. Mother's Day today. Raising awareness for the Breast Cancer Network of Australia. Fantastic initiative by the NBL1 and Basketball Victoria. Kelsey Rees gets a hand in there. All the players wearing pink socks, of course, and the coaching staff as well, looking pretty in pink as Kelly Bowen lets it fly from the corner. Emanopu, geez, mishandles it. Maziski's in there. It's a bit of a scramble. It's going to be a jump ball. So it's actually a foul call on Sam Donald. Third personal on Donald. She has a bit of a laugh with the referee. Clearly doesn't quite agree with that one. It's a 6-point margin here. COE with the first bucket of the second half. Here's Fuller now. Turns it over to Ernst. Ill-advised pass from the COE. Here's Cunningham. Pushes it ahead. That was a risky pass from the get-go, and it will be COE ball. It was a tough ask for Renee Mazitsky, who was already positioned behind the COE defender. Here's Price. Over to Rees. Scored the first points in the second half moments earlier. Another risky pass, this time the COE. So Ernst will come up with it. No, it's a bit of a loose ball situation there. Donald now for Waverley. She'll have to slow it up. No, she won't. Goes all the way, Sam Donald, but throws it off the side of the backboard. Was really pushing the pace, as is Paige Price right now. Drives around, blocked by Carly Ernst, though. She can pull up from mid-range, can Price. That one's a little strong. Rees has front position. 4-point margin. Bowen. Here's Sam Donald. Into Kelly Bowen. She fades away. That one can't rattle in. Cunningham crashing in. It's going to be a foul call. Carly Ernst with her second personal in the game. 17 first half points for Carly Ernst. She was influential. The COE so far have been able to stop her here in the third period. Brought it back to a 4-point margin. Rees with the screen for Price. Here's Smith to Fuller. Shot clock winding down. Nearly turns it over to Bowen. She taps it out of bounds though. COE ball. Eminopu inbounding. What can they do here, the COE? Into Rees. Tries to hand it off to Price. She turns it around, steps through. Nice move from Rees, but it was a little short, though, on the floater attempt. Here's Ernst pushing the pace to Cunningham. Oh, what a pass from Tegan Cunningham. Blocked, though, by Agnes Eminopu. It is a foul call. So Renee Maziski set to go to the line. What a pass from Tegan Cunningham there, though. Nearly a beautiful assist. Renee Mochiski. A chance for a couple at the charity stripe. There's a substitution on the floor. Jade Melbourne checking in for Sarah Rose Smith. Melbourne with 8 points to her name. The second leading scorer for the COE. Mochitsky misses on the first. Had 6 points early on in this contest. Hasn't scored since as the second one drops. The Falcons are 10 of 12 from the free throw line this afternoon. Here's Adelaide Fuller. Finds herself in a bit of space. She pulls up. That one's short as well. And Cunningham will get it for the Falcons. Bit of a missed opportunity there for Adelaide Fuller, who found herself in a lot of space. Here's Donald. Oh, nice pass into Mochitsky, and she can't get that one to go. So Donald doing a great job to find Mochitsky open, but not on that occasion. Here's Price. She pulls up. That's a deep three. Slams off the backboard, though, on that occasion. Travel call from the referee. Kelly Bowen looks frustrated. It will stay with the COE. Here comes Millie Pryor for the COE. Adelaide Fuller checking out. 11 points to her name. Agnes Eminopu to inbound. 5 rebounds and 3 assists for her. The referee's talking things over here at the moment. A little bit of confusion out here on the floor. So it's the Falcons by 5 with 6.5 minutes left in the third period. Here's Melbourne over in the corner. Agnes Eminopu can shoot this. That one a little strong, though. No good on that occasion. Donald. Jade Melbourne defending her. Here's Carly Ernst. Had 17 points. She steps back into a three-pointer. That one drops for Carly Ernst. What a smooth step-back three. Here's Eminopu. Paige Price. Around the Millie Pryor screen. She drives on Ernst and one. Paige Price. That was a strong drive. Getting past Tegan Cunningham and Carly Ernst, 2 WNBL veterans. Didn't worry her. Chance for one more at the charity stripe. And Paige Price gets it to go. She's up to 11 points in the game now, joins Fuller as the equal leading scorer for the COE. Carly Ernst again lets it fly. Melbourne's hit the floor hard here. So Cunningham called for the foul here, her second personal. Jade Melbourne working hard against the taller Waverley defenders, and it's been a tech foul, I believe. 2 shots. And Cunningham will check out now. So a little bit frustrated here is Tegan Cunningham. Looks like Jade Melbourne to take the 2 for the COE. Of course, bronze medalist last year at the Under-17 FIBA World Cup. Defeated Hungary in the bronze medal match. Melbourne played a key role off the bench in that one as well. As Pry comes up with the offensive rebound and puts it back and in. Back to a 2-point margin here, halfway through the third. Ernst on the wing. Here's Jacqueline Van der Zag checking back into the game for Waverley. Bowen got the smaller Jade Melbourne on her, who tries to take the charge. But Rees comes up with it. Here is Melbourne. One of the leaders for this COE team. So is Agnes Emanopu. Here she is. Millie Pryor with the screen. Picks up her dribble. Here's Paige Price. Got Bygate off there. The floater drops for Paige Price. 13 points now for Paige Price. Van der Zag. Millie Pryor right up in her grill. Here's Bowen in the corner. Back into Van der Zag. Pryor just pokes it out of bounds there. It'll stay with Waverley. 47 apiece here. We're all tied up. The COE have been slowly making their way back in this third period. Waverley a chance to retake the lead here. Donald to inbound. Into Bowen, who is fouled hard there. Melbourne hits the floor once again. Bowen a chance to go to the charity stripe for 2. It's her third foul now for Jade Melbourne. In a little bit of foul trouble is the COE point guard. So Sarah Rose Smith set to check in now for Jade Melbourne. Coach Kristen Veal opting to rest Melbourne while she's got 3 fouls to her name. Ten points today for Kelly Bowen. Struggled a little bit from the field, 2 of 9, but once again has been involved for Waverley. Rees with the screen. Here's Sarah Rose Smith. Over to Paige Price, straight into Millie Pryor. Good ball movement. Rees will chuck up the floater. That one, though, no good. Waverley ball. Rees just a little bit disgruntled after copping a knock to the face. Ernst with the screen for Sam Donald. Another screen there. Here is Carly Ernst. Bygate with the pick. Ernst will pull up. That one's a little short, though. Here's Price. She can pass it ahead to Sarah Rose Smith and does, but it's a little off, and it's going to go out of bounds. Waverley ball. Missed opportunity there for the centre of excellence. The pass just a little left. A tough one to handle as here is Jess Bygate. Into Ernst. Nice move from Ernst. The shot's no good on that occasion. Jacqueline Van der Zag, good hustle. Passes it back to Donald. Over to Ernst. The Falcons moving the ball quickly here. Here's Bowen. That one drops for Kelly Bowen. 13 points in the game now. Or 12 points, rather, for Kelly Bowen. Sarah Rose Smith. The Falcons back out to a 5-point lead. Sarah Rose Smith lets it fly. That one no good, but Agnes Emanopu comes up with the offensive rebound. 5 rebounds in the game now for Emma Nopu. Here's Bowen with a lot of space at the free-throw line. That one can't rattle in. Sarah Rose Smith taps it out of bounds. Waverley ball. It's a 3-point margin here as Adelaide Fuller checks back in for Kelsey Rees. And Locke as well, checking back into the game for Waverley. Hasn't seen any action yet in the second half. Kelly Bowen checking out. And Sam Donald as well. Bree Bishop also entering the game for the first time in this third period. Into Ernst. She'll fire. That one drops for Carly Ernst. Up to 22 points now is the Waverley Falcon star. Pryor with the screen for Emma Nopu. Again, thought about pulling up. Over to Paige Price. She lets it fly. That one a little strong, but turns it over. Paige Price, here she is. Gets around Van der Zag. Nice move to the bucket from Paige Price. Turnover number 12 for the Falcons. The COE have 15 turnovers to their name. And Price has picked up a foul here. Jade Melbourne will check back in with 3 fouls to her name. Agnes Emanopu checks out for the COE. 2 minutes remaining here in the third period. A chance for either of these teams to get an upper hand. Here's Carly Ernst. 22 points to her name. Hands it off to Bishop. Pulls up for the floater. Back out to Bishop. Gets another crack at it. And again, no good. So Millie Pryor corrals for the COE. A pair of missed opportunities for the Falcons. Here's Price. Scored on the last possession. Back out to Melbourne. She flicks it into Sarah Rose Smith in the corner. Back to Melbourne. And Sarah Rose Smith finds herself in a bit of space, but couldn't find the ring on that occasion. Here's Locke. Pulls up in transition. No good on that attempt. Loves a three-pointer, does Locke, but couldn't hit on that occasion. Here's Paige Price driving hard. She'll pull up. And what's the call from the referee here? It's an offensive foul. So Paige Price has picked up a couple of quick fouls here. Only her second personal, but both teams now in the bonus with a minute and a half remaining here in the third period. Here's Locke. It's a 3-point margin, 54 to 51. Millie Pryor doesn't want to give Ernst any space. Now she finds that space, and Ernst lets it fly a little short on that occasion. It'll stay with Waverley. A foul call on the floor.
Foul called on number 7,
Sarah Rose Smith. Called for her second personal. So Waverley are in the bonus. They'll head to the line for 2. It's Jacqueline Van der Zag to take the 2 free throws. Kelly Bowen checking in. Carly Ernst checking out. Is the scoring leader in the game with 22 points, 6 rebounds and 3 assists as well. As Van der Zag gets it to go. Important game for the Falcons. Currently in 15th position with a 1-6 record is Locke. Handed into, big block there from Paige Price. No, thank you, she says. Bree Bishop was unawares. Here is Price. The Falcons with a 1-6 record starting to lose pace with the top 8, and if they are to stay in it, they need to win this game as the 3 no good for Paige Price. Melbourne, though, comes up with the offensive rebound. Prior to Melbourne. She's got space in the corner, lets it fly. That one drops for Jade Melbourne. Second 3-pointer of the game for her. 33 seconds remaining. It's a 1-point game into Locke, who hands it out to Bishop. The Falcons, a bucket would steady them at the end of 3. Here's Kelly Bowen. That's a wayward pass, and Sarah Rose Smith with a chance to go the other way now. Melbourne's ahead, hands it ahead to her. She's run out of bounds, though. Just didn't quite run that fast break to perfection, did the COE. And Jade Melbourne ran out of space on that occasion. A couple of substitutions for both teams here with 17 seconds remaining. Donald. Shot clock off here. 6 seconds to go. Donald makes her move now. She's drawn the foul. It'll be 2 shots. Both teams taking care of business at the free-throw line today, shooting above 80% from the charity stripe. Donald with a chance now to get her first points in the game. Does have 5 assists and 3 steals as well for Sam Donald and a block. So definitely been influential in this contest as she hits the scoreboard for the first time. Only taking the 2 field goals today as well, Sam Donald. As she now checks out for Bree Bishop. 3.9 seconds remaining. It's a 3-point margin. Can the COE do something here? The Falcons are pressing right up. Rees to inbound for the COE. Into Sarah Rose Smith. She's got to go. And they've run out of time. They needed to pull up, did Smith. So end of the 3. It is a 3-point margin. 57-54. The Waverley Falcons lead this one. Carly Ernst with 22 points to lead the way for the Falcons. Meanwhile, from the COE perspective, Paige Price with 15 points, Jade Melbourne with 12, and Adelaide Fuller as well with 11 points. Tegan Cunningham being a little bit quiet today. Does have 6 points, 6 rebounds rather, to her name. The COE at 2 of 15 from the 3-point line have struggled from that range, and well, the Falcons haven't been much better. 4 of 14. The difference has been Carly Ernst has made it happen from beyond the arc. Without her, they might have struggled to hit a 3-pointer today. Big last quarter coming up. Both teams desperate for a win. Renee Mochiski with 7 points to her name. She was active early especially. Kelly Bowen with 13, the Waverley captain. COE searching for their first win in this new NBL1 competition. 0-8 so far. They were valiant last night. Only 7 active players tonight. They fell by 14 to the Knox Raiders, who have a few WNBL players in there, so certainly fought hard last night. Both teams playing their second game in 24 hours. The Falcons searching for their second win. They need to win to stay in touch with the top 8 if they are still to make a finals run. A few players missing as well this afternoon for the COE. You can see on the bench Lily Scanlon, Gemma Potter, and Kobe King-Hawea as well, all not in uniform. Ashley Hannon, Olivia Pollard, and Isabel Palmer as well, all not in attendance. So missing a few key players are the COE, especially Lily Scanlon, who's been fantastic at the point guard position for them so far this season. Waverley starting with Donald Bowen. Here's Locke off the bench, as is Van der Zag, and Ernst in there as well, the game's leading scorer. Into Bowen, who muscles it up and in. Sarah Rose Smith let the contact go there. Didn't want to give up a foul. Bowen had the right position prior with a couple of screens for Smith. She drives through and draws the foul on Sam Donald.
Foul falls on number 8 for the Falcons, Nia Locke.
So the foul's on Nia Locke.
That's her second personal foul. First team foul for the Falcons.
Which is lucky for Sam Donald because she's on 3. Locke will go to 2 fouls. Here's Paige Price. Falcons with the first buckets, back to a 5-point margin. Here's Rees. She finds herself in a bit of space, but Ernst gets a hand in and Van der Zag hustles in there to tap it out to her teammate. Lovely work from the spark plug off the bench and Jacqueline Van der Zag. Donald. Oh, lovely hesitation move from Sam Donald. Can't convert on the lay-in though. And Sarah Rose Smith will be fouled. The call is on Jacqueline Van der Zag. She doesn't like it. Second personal for her. Tough situation to give away a foul there. Always unnecessary when it's a defensive rebound situation. Sarah Rose Smith comes around the Rees screen. Back to Melbourne. Nia Locke on her. Jesus, poor pass come off the leg of Kelsey Rees. Nia Locke now pushing the pace. Sam Donald to her right. She opts to hold it up. Here's Ernst. 22 points to her name. She's got the mismatch. Goes straight to the ring and takes advantage. Carly Ernst. She is on fire this afternoon. 24 points now. The COE need a response. It's out to a 7-point margin. Here's Price, and she'll fire from deep, and that one drops for Paige Price. Got some serious range. There's Price. Here's Van der Zag. Into Bowen. Pryor on a good defense there from Millie Pryor. The New South Wales native. Of course, some of the best young talents from around the country assembled here for the Centre of Excellence. Donald to inbound for Waverley. Ernst, she'll pull up. Adelaide Fuller gave her too much space because Carly Ernst, she doesn't need any space, pulls up in the face of the COE defender. 27 to her name now. Just the length and touch of Ernst. Good reach in there from Bowen and ahead to Nia Locke. She's off to the races, mishandles it though on that occasion. She's disappointed with that one. Missed opportunity for Waverley. But they lead by 7 points here. Ernst the difference at this point. Willing Waverley to a 7-point lead. Melbourne thought about it. Picks up her dribble over to Price, who again lets it fly, and that one drops. Back-to-back threes for Paige Price. And all of a sudden, the offense is flowing for both teams. Buckets are dropping. Donald into Bowen, and she can't get it to go. Bit of a missed opportunity. Flying in is Jacqueline Van der Zag. And it will be a foul call on Van der Zag. So she's had a couple of early fouls here in the fourth period. She's up to 3. Has 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Just on the day at the office for Jacqueline Van der Zag, who always seems to make an impact off the bench with her high work rate. Here's Jade Melbourne. Renee Motsitsky getting set to check in for Waverley. Geez, Sam Donald tried to kick that one. Adelaide Fuller out to Price, who again lets it fly. A bit of a heat check. No good on that occasion, though. Here's Donald. What can they do here, the Falcons? It's a 4-point margin. Bowen at the top. Nia Locke coming around a couple of screens. Shot clock winding down. She needs to pull up. That one a little strong. Van der Zag taps it out, but Melbourne round the back. Here she goes. What can she do here? Ahead to Rose Smith and blocked by Kelly Bowen. It is a foul call, though, on the floor. The Waverley bench do not like it.
Foul called on number 9 for the Falcons, Kelly Bowen.
So, looked like a pretty defensive play from my position, but it'll be a foul call. COE to head to the free throw line. Paige Price checks out. A couple of deep 3-pointers from her. Really got the COE offense going in this fourth period. A little strong on that free throw, though, for Sarah Rose Smith. Only 2 points to her name this afternoon. Has a steal and a couple of blocks as well. The second one drops, so she splits a pair from the line. It's back to a 3-point margin here. Going to be a very interesting finish. Both teams desperate for a win. Renee Motsitsky assessing her options. Here's Ernst. Fading away a little short on that attempt. Nia Locke with the rebound though, but Sarah Rose Smith just muscles out of it, and she's off to the races. Round a couple of Waverley defenders all the way to the hoop. Sarah Rose Smith. The fast break lay-in is good, and it's back to a 1-point margin. Here's Motsitsky. Not a lot happening here for the Falcons. A quick pass into Bowen, who's fouled by Emma Nopu. Bowen did well to present there. And Carly Ernst rewarded her with the bullet pass inside. Tegan Cunningham to check back into this one. Nia Locke coming out after some Nice minutes off the bench. Cunningham hasn't seen some action since about halfway through the third. No good on the first attempt for Kelly Bowen. 2-point game here at Waverley Basketball Stadium, about halfway through the last quarter. Adelaide Fuller with the screen for Sarah Rose Smith. Found herself in a bit of space. Opts to pass it cross court to Melbourne. Melbourne driving hard. Eminopu will let it fly. No good though on that attempt. Donald. Waverley with a chance to make it a 2-possession game into Motsitsky. Nice pass, well, right idea, rather, to Ernst, but they were unawares, both Cunningham and Ernst. It's a turnover. COE with a chance to tie the game up. Rees with the screen for Sarah Rose Smith. She's attacking. That floater way off on that occasion. Motsitsky corralling the rebound for Waverley. Cunningham back to Donald. 5 minutes remaining here. Here's Donald with a sense of urgency about her. Double screen. Ernst comes with it. Nearly turned over, and it is Jade Melbourne now. She's got two Waverley defenders ahead of her. Sarah Rose Smith over to Eminopu, who thought about shooting it. Melbourne into Rees. Ernst defending her. And Motsitsky gets a hand and comes up with the steal. Lovely to play there from Renee Motsitsky. And Eminopu is going to foul Sam Donald on this occasion. That is her fourth foul in the game for Agnes Eminopu. And Millie Pryor will check back in, as will Paige Price. Eminopu will indeed check out. Kelsey Rees as well. Paige Price now up to 21 points in the game. She's been outstanding. Averages 5.8 on the year. Renee Motsitsky with, again, that fancy footwork. Trademark move there from Renee Motsitsky. Gets it to go. 9 points now she's up to. Jade Melbourne directing traffic. Millie Pryor with the screen. Melbourne will pull up from the wing. A little off on that occasion. Here's Cunningham. Perhaps both teams are a touch fatigued here at this point. A back-to-back for both. Ernst with the screen for Donald. Ernst straight away into Motsitsky, who's got the smaller Melbourne on her, but can't get it to go. Melbourne now pushing the pace. Sarah Rose Smith ahead to her left. Has to slow it up now. Here's Price. Thought about shooting it. Has hit two. Reached in, though, by Donald. It is a foul call. It'll stay with the COE. And that's her fourth foul in the game for Sam Donald. And the COE, with 3 minutes and 39 seconds here remaining in the fourth, are in the bonus. So Paige Price will go to the line for 2 shots. The leading scorer this afternoon for the COE with 21 points to her name. Shooting the ball with a lot of confidence here at the moment. Gets both to go for the COE, and it's back to a 2-point game. This one here at Waverley Basketball Stadium set to go down to the wire. 3.5 remaining. Here's Bowen on the wing, over to Ernst at the top. Sarah Rose Smith giving her no space. Here's Donald. Motsitsky posting up. And Cunningham will draw the foul on Sarah Rose Smith. Smith is frustrated with that one. But Cunningham, a chance at the charity stripe. 4 points and 7 rebounds for her this afternoon. First one drops for Tegan Cunningham. So the COE in the bonus here. The Falcons, meanwhile, have had 3 fouls committed on them by the COE. 4-point margin here. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this one. The Falcons just holding on to that lead that they took into the last quarter is blocked by Carly Ernst. Great defensive play from the veteran there. Blocked from behind as well. The sheer length allowing her to do so. Donald coming around the Ernst screen. Finds her way to the hole and fouled and one. Sam Donald. Tough finish there from the Waverley point guard. Gets it to go. Chance for one more at the charity stripe. And Donald has been impressive this afternoon. Only has 4 points to her name, but 6 assists, 3 steals, a block, 4 rebounds. She's been involved. Meanwhile, Sarah Rose Smith with a couple of quick fouls, and she has 4 now to her name. A few players in foul trouble for both teams. So just under 3 minutes to go. It's a timeout here. The Falcons have a 6-point lead and a chance to make it 7. Dangerous territory for the COE, who are searching for their first win. A couple of buckets in a row for Waverley could make it a double-digit margin with only a few minutes remaining. It's going to be an important few possessions for both teams coming up. Carly Ernst outstanding today, 27 points. Has looked really classy. Hit a few big three-pointers. Kelly Bowen with 16. Paige Price as well for the COE. Well, she's been fabulous. 23 points. Hit a couple of deep threes here in the fourth period. Really got the COE's offense going here in the last quarter. Kristen Veal just giving out some final few instructions to her troops as Sam Donald gets prepared to take this free throw. So it's out to a 7-point margin, 2:54 on the clock. Cunningham right up there. The coach yelling no foul. Of course, the COE are in the bonus. Meanwhile, Waverley's only 1 foul away from the bonus as well. Agnes Emanopu, she's been good, as has Paige Price. Gets around Cunningham, drives hard to the ring. The floater rims out though, and Millie Pryor comes up with it. Can't get it to go on the second attempt. Couple of missed opportunities for the COE. Big stop there for the Falcons. And with a 7-point margin, a potential chance to make it a double-digit one with 2 minutes to go into Cunningham. Price on her, thought about shooting it, steps through and passes to Bowen. She drives and pulls up from the mid-range. That one rattles out. Cunningham nearly comes up with a board, but the COE corral. They need a bucket here. Here's Jade Melbourne. Bowen defending her. Drives, oh, lovely pass into Millie Pryor, who gets it to go for the COE. Much needed bucket there for the centre of excellence. And it's back to a 5-point margin here. Under 2 minutes remaining. Here's Donald for Waverley. Bowen at the top now. Adelaide Fuller defending her. Into Ernst. Turns around, fades and shoots. That one no good though. And Cunningham comes up with it. Another opportunity for the Falcons. That's a big rebound there in the context of this game. Here's Donald. Oh, passes into Montesky. Cunningham can shoot. Opts against it and blocked. No, fouled by Agnes Emanopu. So Cunningham will go to the line for 2 shots. 5-point margin with 1:18 remaining. And Agnes Emanopu has been fouled out for the COE. So Sarah Rose Smith will check back in. First one drops for Tegan Cunningham. 6-point margin now. Starting to get tough for the centre of excellence as Cunningham makes it a 7-point game. Jacqueline van der Zag set to check back in. Renee Motiski checking out for Waverley. Van der Zag straight into it, trying to deny Jade Melbourne, doing a good job as well. They passed it into Sarah Rose Smith. Now here's Melbourne. 1:15 on the clock. Melbourne Carly Ernst defending her. Spin move. Jade Melbourne reverse lay-in. Jeez, would have been an awesome move if had that have dropped. But she's drawn the foul. Michaela Miller getting set to check in for the Falcons. Melbourne, a couple of opportunities coming up at the charity stripe. Had herself a pretty impressive weekend of basketball. 19 points and 10 rebounds last night against Knox. And she's now up to 13 points. 6 boards, 2 assists and a couple of steals as well in this one. It's back to a 6-point game. And now 5. So COE hanging around. Waverley certainly need a bucket to keep the pressure off. Michaela Miller being pressured by a couple of COE defenders, and it's going to be COE ball. They've come up with the turnover on Miller. Just worried her out of it there. Jade Melbourne doing well. Here she is again, Melbourne. A bucket here would really get the game going. Here's Sarah Rose Smith. Bit stagnant are the COE. Here's Melbourne. Shot clock down to 13. And she'll fire. Well, Jade Melbourne, a little short though. Adelaide Fuller coming up with it. No, she can't. Tapped out of it for Carly Ernst. So Waverley with 40 seconds remaining. They lead by 5. Ahead to Jacqueline Van der Zag. Now to Cunningham. Back to Bowen. They've got the ball in their Stars' hands, have Waverley. Shot clock winding down. 9 seconds remaining, but so is the game clock. Van der Zag will drive baseline and draw the foul on Millie Pryor. And it's going to be 2 shots. It's going to be tough from here for the COE. 5-point game. Van der Zag a chance to make it 7. It's a timeout to the COE. They're going to need at least 2 buckets. And in all likelihood, probably 3 for the COE. Paige Price has hit a couple of big 3-pointers. She might be someone they go to in this situation. Jade Melbourne as well has been good creating today for the Centre of Excellence. The COE searching for their first win. The Falcons after their second. Ernst had 20 points last night against Ringwood. Has 27 in this one. And if the game continues the way it is, I think it's fair to say Carly Ernst has been the difference maker for the Falcons here. Hit a few big shots and almost got the Falcons out of jail when they've needed it here. The COE have done a pretty good job defending the Falcons tonight, but Carly Ernst can shoot with the smallest of spaces. Couple of big 3 throws coming up here for Jacqueline Van der Zag. And the first one drops for the Falcons. 6-point game now, 23.8 seconds on the clock. Both teams in the bonus. And no good on the second one. So 6-point game. What can the COE do here? They need to push it. Here's Jade Melbourne. She finds her way to the bucket. Pulls up for the floater. Off the backboard. No good. Comes up with the offensive rebound. Paige Price might need to shoot the 3. And she'll pull up from mid-range. That one short as well. It's a bit chaotic here as the COE search for a basket. Once again, Paige Price out to Fuller, who drive all the way in for an easy 2. But with only 2.5 seconds remaining, it's probably all she wrote here as the Waverley Falcons come away with a 4-point victory here on your Sunday afternoon round 6 NBL1 matchup. Second win of the season for the Falcons. Carly Ernst with 27 points to lead all scorers. The COE were valiant once again. A tough doubleheader for them. Only had 7 active players this weekend. As we see 3 of the COE stars all in tracksuits in Potter, Scanlon and King Hawaii. A couple of losses for the COE, but they've shown some things, and the Falcons improved to 2-6 on the season, and they stay in touch with the finals race, although they need to go on a bit of a run, to say the least. So just a quick look at the stats here this afternoon. The Falcons hit 5 3-pointers. The COE, meanwhile, were 4 of 21 from beyond the arc. Both teams shot 37% from the field. The Falcons with 13 steals. Both teams struggled to look after the ball a tad here. I mean, the COE with 21 turnovers and the Falcons with 18. So we'll be back here in around 10 to 15 minutes for the second game of this double-header here at Waverley Basketball Stadium. The Falcons men and the COE men set to go head-to-head, both in similar positions on the NBL1 ladder. The Waverley Falcons with a 4-3 record in 6th place. Meanwhile, from the COE perspective, they sit at 4-4 in 8th place. So, a couple of teams right in the finals picture. Set to be a cracker. We'll see you back in around 10 to 15 minutes here. My name is Liam Ellison. Happy to bring to you this afternoon the Falcons and the COE. See you soon.